of the Get Loud podcast. The draft is coming to the district.
I cannot wait.
And we have draft picks, so we'll talk with Tom
Luginbill.
All right. Recruiting and scout analyst for ESPN and SiriusXM. We'll talk about the 2027 draft and emails, voicemails.
Yes, Traveling Jay is back.
He's back. So are we. How you doing, everyone? It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek. This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. Fred Smoot, Michael Jenkins. We got Anna right over there waiting to hop in at any time. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm smelling like Chacos from the weekend, because I barbecued, and I'm glad we had that conversation about, the barbecuing because call me Neanderthal, call me a guy that like to do it the original way. People with gas grills, we'll never get along.
I tell you what, this was definitely a hot topic in the comments.
No, because it's true. Like, I've had people say, Smooth, come to my barbecue. And I'd be like, all right, I'm not doing anything. Say,
right.
Yeah, I stopped through. And I stopped through, and I come in the backyard, and my homeboy would be like, yeah, man, come on through. I got the grill going. And it's a gas grill. I politely turn around, I say bye, and I leave.
And you never talk to him again?
No, they can come to my house. where I got the wood chips, I got the coals going. Like, I'm so deep in it, I would go seek out certain wood from like plum trees or fruit trees, pear trees, all this to really get that flavor going in there. So that's what we do down in Mississippi. Mississippi, I don't know why we don't get the props for barbecue. One of the best pieces of barbecue you ever eat, Mississippi.
What if I invited you over for a barbecue and then I pulled some like hamburgers out of the microwave?
I'm not gonna eat it. Like, I'd be like, just hand me a beer, man. All right,
You're lucky I'm still here.
Like, I'm finna come here, I'm finna stay for 30 minutes because I know I don't want to eat the food.
Right.
Like, so I'm not gonna really say anything crazy. I'm just gonna I might look at you a certain way. Mm-hmm. That's propane. So I'm giving you signals. Right. That propane. Yeah, man, propane. Look at this grill I got.
Well, you know what? Here in the next couple of years, there might be some barbecues before the NFL draft comes to DC. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
2027 on the National Mall. I wanted to say this came out of nowhere, but it felt right once we heard the stadium site possibly going to RFK. It's very close to happening, not official just yet. So this just all makes sense.
No, it's just one thing after another. We are coming back into the fold as best you can. The nation's capital has always been one of the best places to host gigantic events like this. Yeah. Like, if anybody prepared for it, it's D.C. D.C. is totally prepared for it. We got enough hotels between D.C., Maryland, and Northern Virginia. We got enough places for everybody to go. The National Mall is used to holding that amount of people. I'm going to go out and say it right now. We're going to break all the attendance records because we got too many major cities with major teams too close to us.
They said close to 1 million people, maybe?
Think about this. Let's not worry about California and the 49ers. Okay. Let's not worry about the Arizona Cardinals. You got the New York Giants market shared with the Jets market, driving 4 hours. You got Philadelphia driving 2.5 hours. You got the Baltimore fans coming down 45 minutes. North Carolina is nowhere from here. You got so many football team just stuck in this hub right here.
Yeah.
There's nowhere. Pittsburgh, nowhere from here. All right. So at the end of the day, it's the perfect marriage. It's the perfect thing. I cannot wait. Now, the only thing that'll make that better in 2027.
Oh, here we go.
If they let the 27s of the team do the second pick.
Which they should.
Which I wore the 2-7. Brad Edwards wore the 2-7. So we could walk out there together. Just imagine a million people out there and Fred Smoot comes out there. Do you know
that would be the loudest Smooth you've ever heard, ever gonna hear.
And guess what's gonna bleed into it? The Philly fans and the Cowboy fans and the New York Giant fans booing me.
And it's
just gonna just electrify. They'll be able to hear that boo in Baltimore. Right? Nothing would crank me up. You have to send out. If you housing it and you doing it at home, you got to send out some agitators.
Oh, yeah.
You got to send the best agitators you ever had out there to really bring some life. And I would be privileged.
Look at the look on your face. You're like,
did I just look like a villain? Like the Joker? Like, yes.
Yeah, I'm like, I can already see your mind working. And the thing is, you got a couple years to get ready.
No, I don't need. I hope it happens next week.
I started to say you can do it now.
No. It's just the energy. It's no energy is matched from an NFL crowd. And this NFL crowd is unlike any other NFL crowd because they're not really there to go against each other.
Right.
They're there to party together. So it's this brotherhood of NFL fans, but then the only time it's a divide is when a draft pick is picked and it's in your division.
Yeah.
So you're gonna boo them. But other than that, no, this is what the NFL been needing right now. That backdrop with the Capitol.
Oh my God.
And the monuments.
Did you see the renderings?
Yes. You can't beat that, Jinx. Man, listen, all I know is I hope I make it to all the events I supposed to make it to that weekend. Because it's gonna be
That's gonna be a tough week for you in a good way.
It's gonna be a very tough week for me. Like I will be challenged that week.
Right.
I will be challenged personally. And I'm
professionally.
Yes, I'm ready for it. I understand. That's why I say I need me and Brad Edwards. 2 interceptions in Super Bowl. Let us do it.
And you know what I love about it too is that Roger Goodell, like he used to go to games at RFK.
Yes.
So he wants football in DC to be
Yes.
relevant. He wants the draft to be here. He wants the stadium to be at the RFK side. So when the commissioner is on your side,
Yes.
obviously that's a huge deal.
He's been here twice in the last month, right, for the stadium announcements, sitting in there hard, by golly. Then he comes right back for the draft with the biggest smile on his face, back in the nation's capital. This is where everything belongs, man. Listen, I cannot wait. I think it's the perfect venue to throw it at, and I think the football fans are going to be blown away about how fun and accessible DC is. And they are like, oh, we're going to make this much revenue. I look at the small people. Do you know how much a Uber driver is going to make that week?
Oh, my God. That week is going to be crazy.
Especially for you. Mr. Uberman himself.
Oh, my God.
You might not get to work. Like,
I might not.
Like,
you worry about me getting here or you getting here. It might be me.
No, I'm just saying, like, the small things that people in D.C. are used to are going to be hard to get.
It's going to be double everything.
Yeah, it's going to be Starbucks. I'm going, you want some coffee? Yeah. 20 people in that line, at least.
Oh, that's true.
So every little minutia will be to the next level. So it's going to be one of them times where I think the people that live in the city going to have to adjust more than the people that's visiting.
And, you know, people have different ideas about what D.C. is like. I think it'll be great for other people to come here and actually experience
See it.
Yeah.
Because when people say D.C., they never say water.
Right.
They never say water. Well, we sitting on a ton of it.
Yeah.
Right? Boating is a big thing. Every Sunday and Saturday, I'm usually boating.
I started to say, you'll roll up in Georgetown.
Yeah, listen, Potomac, I'm usually on it. Do you know what that water going to look like that weekend? How many people going to be bringing their boats out? It's going to be insane. I cannot wait.
How was Franklin Hall on Monday night? You got to tell me this. By the way, if you're interested in stadium news, the very latest, you can get it at commanders.com/new stadium. So I watched the podcast.
Yeah.
How was it being there?
First of all, it was a great podcast, great crowd, but we had some discrepancies going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, we was doing the show.
Fred's feelings were hurt.
All right.
What happened?
He's not great off the bench.
I'm not. I thought I was Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
I'm not. All right. I've been a starter my whole life. And see, we were supposed to set up the show for 5.
Okay.
It's me, Logan, B. Mitch, Tanner, BC.
Okay.
All right. A couple mics didn't work. So we had to rotate.
Okay.
So we were sitting over there on the bench while the other guy was starting the show off, and I'm over there talking to Logan like, you used to this, ain't you? I ain't. I like to start and end that thing. But other than that, it was very fun. We had fun. And, you know, we rag each other.
Oh, yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
like that. So it was fun. It's always fun to get out there with the crowd, man, and the people that support you. And sometimes I'm rather blown away and shocked about how many people tune in weekly to these shows, and people are always telling me, that's how I get through my job day, just listening to y'all, right?
Yeah.
So I like how fan bases get to get this next level of entertainment when it comes to knowing stuff about their team. They don't have to tune in to the national shows that's going to talk about your team 3 minutes, maybe, only if something good or bad is happening.
And they don't know the little nuances of the little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't know what goes on in the building. So I think for us to give them their information and them to give us how they feel back, you can't beat that.
Plus, there's something about meeting fans, and sometimes you get to put a name with a
With
face.
a face. Yeah, most definitely. Because they know your face. They know your voice.
Right.
They know everything. So it's always good to get that handshake, that hug, let them know that, hey, we're a family. We're a football family. It works.
No doubt about it.
And guys, be sure to stay tuned because there will be more events coming up throughout the month. We can't say anything too much about Get Loud, but I know we have stuff in the works for Get Loud. I know there's stuff in the works for CC Pod, so stay tuned. There's a lot of fun stuff coming
we got some more live
DC.
events coming up. I done already did 5-6 football camps. We got at least 15 more. Like, we're in the community. We outside. All right, the Commanders are outside. It ain't nothing we ain't touching right now.
It's going to be exciting. And also exciting on this show, Tom Luginbill coming up here in a few minutes. So he'll talk about the Commanders draft picks. So let's do your hot ticket presented by SeatGeek. This summer, SeatGeek has your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. So Anna likes to peruse Reddit.
Well, the youth.
Which I'm on Reddit from time
I
to
don't
time.
recommend perusing Reddit all the time, for the record. I don't know if it's that healthy. But
Yeah, I'm going to say I used to be a
Commanders
big Reddit guy, but kind of, as you get older, you don't want all that noise.
There's a lot of noise.
You like everything to quiet down, because the one thing about Reddit, it's meant to go back and forth. Like, it's meant to challenge each other.
Yeah.
Verbally, writing word is meant to be that stage. So you got to know what fight you're getting into.
The fight usually goes, you're making a point, I make a contrarian point, you don't like that, so here comes the insult.
Yeah,
like almost immediately.
Yeah, what school you went to?
Right.
They ain't teaching nothing. Like, it's this combative.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need that healthy war going inside.
You got to be careful. But I think something we found on Reddit,
All right.
I found, was this NFC East position rankings chart. Shout out to whoever made it. I don't know if you tune into the podcast, but I had to take a look. And the first thing I want to comment on, because we were talking about this in the office before we walked in, was the wide receiver position group. Looks like the Cowboys are working on something with the Steelers. We're taping this on Wednesday.
Oh, it's almost solid. It's almost complete.
So do we think that position group, we have Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants, do we think anything changes in that ranking?
All right, when George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb hook up, I think that's a good, different core. Now you got your tall red zone guy that can also get deep. You got CeeDee Lamb. Now, I think when the numbers come at the end of the year, George Pickens' numbers might be very similar to what he did in Pittsburgh, while CeeDee Lamb number explodes.
Yeah.
Because the double team gone. They can't double team him anymore. All right, and now I hear from Schottenheimer that they want to run the ball more, so it's going to be more play action. All right, so he going to get his on the big plays. He going to get his underneath CeeDee Lamb.
So does that change? Because right here, at least in this Reddit list, you got Eagles #1 receiving core, which I get that.
I get it. Super Bowl winners.
Right. Then you have us, then you have Dallas, but this is Dallas before George Pickens. If you have the Cowboys getting Pickens, does that move them ahead of the Commanders or no?
All right, Terry Pro Bowler. Debo, been a Pro Bowler, been All-Pro. George Pickens never been a Pro Bowler or All-Pro.
He's had 3 seasons. Some would say he's underachieved a little bit. Potential is there, ceiling is there.
Yeah, but
also he's a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the person inside, like the person inside.
Right.
And we've seen this story before when it comes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is ran so good from the top down, and Tomlin does such a good job, kind of keeping people misfits in order.
Well, that's the thing, too, is that if any coach, I feel like, is equipped to handle any play that might be a misfit, malcontent, it's Mike Tomlin.
It's Mike Tomlin.
So if the Steelers say, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore, how do you think that's going to play elsewhere?
All right, let's go through some receivers that played at Pittsburgh that eventually left. I think it's only one that actually career went that way, and that's Plaxico Burress. Now, you look at the other guys that leave, that got a little baggage, their career, because Pittsburgh's so stable, they don't usually blossom in other places. So you got to bring that in to perspective also.
Yeah.
But is it good for Dak? Yeah. Is it good for CeeDee Lamb? Yeah. But I think it's contrarian. Like, what's your cup of tea? Because we're more closer to Philadelphia than we are the Cowboys as a wide receiver.
Oh,
group.
absolutely.
Yeah, so Terry and Debo compare more to those guys than they do to these. I think when you mix in the quarterback, we still stay at 2.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think if you mix in and say, you know what, well, who got the better quarterback since they so even, we got the better quarterback.
I'd love to see McCaffrey step up too. and be a guy who contributes, which he absolutely can.
Yeah, and don't forget we got Lane.
Right.
We got some dudes now in here. We have a chance to have a well-rounded group because we got a force multiplier. When you got a force multiplier at quarterback, you don't need to have the best wide receiver in football.
Right.
I always say, since Jerry Rice, the best wide receiver in football ain't really won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, that's just like I have this argument all the time with Logan about edge rushers.
Okay.
What would you rather have, an edge or a D tackle? Dominant.
I bet Logan says edge. And you say tackle.
D tackle.
Yeah.
As a defensive player, think about it. What top 3 edge rusher has won a Super Bowl the last 15 years?
Von Miller?
That's it. Now let's go D tackles. Aaron Donald, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
The shortest way to the quarterback is right there.
Right.
And if I disrupt in the middle, it takes longer to get around the edge.
Yeah.
If I got disrupted in the middle, I stop the run game and the pass game.
Look at the Eagles' defensive line, for the love of God.
Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Every time I look up, but guess who they had on the edge? Sweat. These guys are not top 10 edge rushers.
Right.
They just got paid like it because everybody got this misconception in their head. If you ain't got no edge, you got no pass rush. No, give me interior pass rush, and I can dominate a game.
When you look at tight end rankings,
so
they have Zach Ertz ahead of Dallas Goedert. Goddard looks like he's going to re-sign with Philadelphia. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
And I know they got to make Dallas Goedert feel bad because I kind of pushed you out of town, and you still established yourself as the best tight end in the NFC.
Yeah.
So they hurt a little bit. But he did have more touchdown catches, more clutch catches. So, yeah, I can see why they graded it. But me and you are shocked because of the youth.
I think that's what it is more than anything else.
Yeah. Because Dallas Goedert is younger, you would think you would pick him, right?
Yeah.
And Theo Johnson, not a bad tight end in New York while people playing. Theo can play. So it's some guys there, but I'm not shocked about that one. Now, I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but think about this. Out of positional, let's say out of the number 1 spot, we got quarterback, we got tight end, we got linebacker, we got head coach. That's more top spots than the Eagles.
Who made this list?
I'm
not knocking him. I'm just saying, you have to take that into account.
No, Tiermaker, he might not be a Washington fan. Are you trying to say he's a Washington fan?
Oh, I have no idea.
I have no idea. We just found it.
Yeah.
I fully pulled this from, like I said, Reddit. I think if you're looking at this, you're looking at it through the lens of
a Commanders fan, probably.
A Commanders fan. Eagles won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're looking at quarterbacks,
we got.
I would say absolutely.
We got the better quarterback.
Yeah, I think
we got the better quarterback. Now, the only thing I can say,
running back, I think is a kind of no-brainer.
No, this is why I say this thing might be made by an equal fan that probably took a couple votes from his homeboys, homegirl.
Oh.
Check this out. Look at the second line. That's all Eagles. That means they just deeper than everybody.
Yeah.
Think about it. At number 2, they got the number 2 quarterback. They got the number 2 tight end. They got the number 2 D-line, which to me, they got the number 1 D-line. We can debate that.
I think maybe I wonder if they're rating it on individual player talent.
No, it's the group.
What about DQ ahead of Sirianni? It's like you got the ring, you've been to 2 Super Bowls, you got one, but also you're not as beloved by your players.
It's something, it's a love-hate relationship. It feels like, to me, the city of Philadelphia say, we're going to hold on to you long as you winning. It don't seem to be
like, if you're winning, all right.
All right, but after this?
But we don't have your back no matter what.
Yeah, it don't feel like a marriage.
He was chirping at Eagles fans mid-season last year.
The beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I understand why. They hard on their own.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be something, you know how you go out with a couple and they trying not to argue, but they arguing.
Right.
But then they turn
around. You just put on the face?
Then they turn around and say, we ain't never had a better happy 6 years than I I can't tell.
This is so us.
Yeah. Come on, yes. Man. Come on. No. So it seems to be a little tight marriage there, but everything else, safety, cornerback, I can't believe they gave Dallas the cornerback position. Is it because of Ravel?
I guess Bland.
Well, you got Bland, you got Diggs, but they got Cooper DeJean, they got Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, that's
maybe they're just saying that the Dallas Cowboys veterans are.
That's the one thing where I was like, am I not familiar enough with the Cowboys secondary? I feel like that should not be number 1.
Maybe they felt like they needed to give the Cowboys fans something.
They threw them a bone.
Yeah.
Well,
keep them happy.
That was pretty much the only bone you could have threw them. But I can say this. their draft.
Yeah, you're really high on their draft.
I was so high on their draft. Like, I'm not going to hate on Lit Jarrah. Lit Jarrah can draft.
Yeah.
Lit Jarrah can draft now. I give him that now. He can draft some players.
Well, let's see what you guys think. Voicemail and email time. Give us a call, 703-726-7419. Also, WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, you guys will have to tell us what you think about this position rankings list. Like I said, I think, there's some things that can be disagreed upon. But
well, that's what the list is for.
It was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the list is for. But that also tell you the NFC East is back. And I hate to tell people this, we are only good when all of us good. This is not one of those divisions that plays well when just one team is good. No. Like, you can go back to the 80s, the 90s. We're all good at the same time. And
that's right.
Hey, iron sharpens iron.
And, man, that's when the competition, that's when it's really exciting,
That's when this becomes what it's always been, and that's the NFC East is a beast.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, moving on to a little bit more of a draft-centered discussion, we got an email from a fan that said, "Hey, Anna, Jinx, and Fred, I hope everyone is doing well. I had a question for Fred with his good cornerback eye. With the great coaching we have here now, could you see Trey Amos becoming the next Patrick Surtain II?
Ooh.
Thanks for your thought, and if y'all ever need anything in the 757, just let me know. Born and raised here, so I know everything." Ben Jones. Thank you, Ben, for your email.
I'll be in Richmond at Darryl Green's golf tournament the weekend of the 17th and at Monday the 18th. So I'll be close to the 575. But,
Pat Surtain.
That's tough.
That's
Trey
tough.
Amos.
Hard to predict now. You don't do that to people.
It's almost, you're setting the bar, like, I understand that's the ideal.
Yes.
But when you're setting the bar as arguably the best in the game, that's a tough bar to match.
I would say don't do that. Let him get in the mix first. Let's see him run with his teammates. Do he got talent? Is he long like Pat Surtain? Oh, yeah. All the ingredients are there. They don't make it a Big Mac. All right, just because you got 2 all-beef patties and a 7-seed bun, that do not make that a Big Mac.
This sauce is not special.
No, it doesn't make it a Big Mac because it looks the same.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, when Pat Surtain came to the game, he was not the best corner. He developed his way into that. Did he always have a high ceiling? Yes, he did. Yeah. Does Amos have a high ceiling? Yes, he does. But let's not start there. Let's just try to make him number one amongst his draft peers. Let's start there first, because you're talking about Travis Hunter, something we haven't seen since Deion Sanders.
Right.
Now, you're talking about Will Johnson, who I thought shouldn't have failed in the draft.
I was surprised that we were both high on him.
Yeah. So it's guys in this draft. Ben, I think he has a chance to be good, maybe great. That depends on how he focuses on his everyday practice compared to his everyday play. Right? Can Joe Witt Jr. get it out of him? Yes, he can. All right, is he a Joe Witt guy? Yes, he is. Now, he got a high floor. Let's see how far that ceiling go.
Do we have any voicemails?
Yes, we do. Let me cue them up. We actually got quite a few this time around. So we'll have to kind of rapid fire for the first. We're gonna hit 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Okay, let's do this. First voicemail. Oh, sorry. There's a live stream of St. Peter's Square going on.
I thought that was my homeboy letting me know it's time to go out. Homeboy used to do it after one day in college.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
No, it's fine.
Hey, what's going on, Jinx and Fred? My name is Dennis, and I'm calling all the way from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
Memphis! Above your stomping grounds, Fred.
Yes, sir.
I have a crazy thought here. The kid we drafted in the 6th round, Kane Madrano, for some crazy reason, the way he plays, he reminds me of
Frankie
Cooper DeJean from the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you feel the same way, the way they play? They seem similar with their playing styles. Well, that's all I really have to say. And that's it. Hail to the Commanders.
Yes, I had many fun days in old Memphis 10.
Oh, I bet you did.
Yes, sir. Old Memphis talking about barbecue blues, and music.
We're going to have to start a new podcast, Off the Record.
Off the record with Fred and Jinx. Listen, his athletic profile jumps off the page.
Doesn't he seem like he's built more like a strong safety?
Yes, but he's rough enough to play linebacker, and he's an oddity. He's one of these dudes where I think they got him just so they could build this star position for him, this hybrid linebacker, hybrid safety position, because he can play. Shockingly, he's fast enough to play the middle of the field if he wanted to.
He was the fastest linebacker of the combine, right?
Yeah, he was faster than some safeties, some corners. Like his athletic me and Logan were watching the play where they throw this quick screen to the offensive left.
Okay.
He is rushing the passer from the opposite side. He stops rushing the passer. By the time this guy catches this screen, he has already beeline. By the time this dude gets 2 yards, he's peeling his cap.
Damn.
You don't see that. All right, do you want to be a tad bit more physical? Yes, we're to get that out of him. But do I think he can add to this team this year? I do. For some odd reason, I think they got a legit plan for him. They drafted him with a legit purpose. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a fan favorite in no time.
And anytime you add speed, I'm always a fan of that.
Speed, size, screen. He's aggressive. He could do, put it like this, he could do everything all 3 levels. Mm-hmm. He can cover in the back end. He can tackle like a linebacker, and he can rush the passer. He can do pretty much everything you need him to do.
Love to hear that. All right, we ready for our next one?
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, Jinx, and Anna, how y'all doing? It's Fred from Florida, man.
Great name.
Hey, I was just wanting your input on a couple guys. I was Johnny Newton and Quan Martin, because I'm in Florida now, but I grew up in Illinois. And was wondering what kind of impact those guys might have this year for us. Also, a grilling idea, what we do south of Champaign-Urbana, the bubbly there in Illinois, is we eat barbecue, bacon, pork burgers, with some Country Bob sauce on it. Love y'all. Keep up the great show.
Have you guys heard of Country Bob sauce?
He just made me hungry.
No,
I
was
looked
thinking
it
the
up.
same thing.
And it sounded very good.
He almost ended the show.
I was like, Country Bob sauce.
Yeah, listen.
Pass it around.
That's probably made by a dude named Bob. That's all I'm saying. Like,
It's a good guess.
but he was asking about Johnny Newton, Quan Martin. I think Johnny Newton gonna take that next step.
Oh, don't you think so?
It just
Remember, it took him a while to get right because he had like some
two injuries. Two injuries. So anytime a player comes, that's why I was easy on Marshawn Lattimore. Anytime you injured, going to a new defense, it's just gonna be you trying to maintain, you trying to survive.
Yeah.
Now they finna move past survival. They finna try to dominate, and that's the thing. And Quan, I have been trying to figure out my match for Quan because Quan is one of them dudes. He just does everything good. Mm-hmm. Like nothing. It's great. A Renaissance man. Yeah. Everything good. You need me to tackle? I do that good. Mm-hmm. You need me to cover? I do that good. You want me down in the box? I do that good. Like, and he gonna sacrifice every pound he got. Like the one thing we know Quan ain't afraid of is contact.
That's right.
And people don't understand. Last year, I think he was playing with 2 dislocated shoulders.
Damn.
Right? But he's still running back interceptions against Detroit Lions. So I think we got something with Quan Martin. Like we got something with Quan, we got something with Johnny Newton. Now it's time for them to take it all the way to the next level. Like he reminds me of a faster. I can't say he is physical.
Okay.
Maybe it's the number 20 that's throwing me out, but it's a little Brian Dawkins in Quan Martin.
Oh, okay.
It's a little Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, Brian Dawkins was nasty, man.
He ruined my whole career. Right? Every time we played these, like I thought it was 2 Brian Dawkins out there. The first and the second.
He could play, yeah.
He could really get down, make plays, and just somebody that he brings a tempo. He brings an anger to the game.
That's a football player.
Listen, I remember the first time we went to that Philadelphia stadium and he crawled out of that tunnel like Wolverine. I'm like, I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Well, it's time to pay some bills. Our guest is here.
Oh, our guest is here?
So let's pay some bills really quickly, and then we'll get ready to welcome in Tom Luginbill.
All
Let's
right,
do
we'll
that.
pay some bills. MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life doesn't escape us. We dream of a place anywhere in the world, and in the blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All I have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop. Tell them Fred sent you.
Well done. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by Bet365, official sports betting partner of the Washington Commanders. Bet on a range of NFL markets with the Bet365 app. Craft your own personalized bet slip with Parlay. Access thousands of games with live streaming. Place your bet before the match or bet during the game. It's up to you. Download the Bet365 app today and join 80 million members worldwide. Age 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Virginia. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Colorado University.
Oh, still getting it done. Mm-hmm. And now, look, we were talking about these young guns. Let's talk about it even more with Tom Luginbill. Let's bring him in now, scout and college football analyst for SiriusXM and ESPN. You know Tom Luginbill. We've had him on the show before. You've seen him all over the place. Tom, first of all, thanks for being with us. And second of all, I just wanted to get sort of your general thought on the Commanders draft as a whole before we ask about individual players.
Well, listen, I think what's interesting is when you look at this draft and these 5 selections, 3 of the 5 you would easily call college football journeymen. When you look at their path and how they developed and got from point A to point B, it's all about player development. And I think there is a really interesting background for these guys that probably made it a lot of fun for the personnel department to really dive deep and figure out, okay, we've got 3 guys who are 3-time transfers that have all of these unique backgrounds, and their development from, let's just say, an FCS program to playing in, the defunct Pac-12, group of 5 program, and then all of a sudden starting with Alabama and Ole Miss. You don't see a ton of that. You're going to start seeing more of it. But for Washington, this was what their draft is all about.
Tom, did you feel that they wanted people that had been through adversity? They didn't want people that had been, the silver spoon handed to them. Because every time I look at these guys, even when I look at Connolly, it wasn't always easy for Connolly. Like, the thing about it, I think they want guys that been through the process, guys that have been through it like a lot, especially when they talk about team leaders and team captains like that.
Yeah.
Do you see the ingredients on what they say a commander is?
Yeah, because I think there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of each of these guys. Particularly the ones that have been well traveled. They're constantly trying to upgrade and get better and work against better people, play against better level of competition. I mean, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt starts off at Alabama State of all places.
Yep.
And then somehow ends up in Mexico, and then somehow ends up at Arizona. Well, that's 3 different levels of competition. So he can acclimate, he can adjust, and the jump in talent wasn't something that was problematic. Sometimes for guys, it is. You say the same thing about Jalen Lane. He goes to Middle Tennessee State, ends up at Virginia Tech, and then Trey Amos, Louisiana, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
Yep.
I think there's a hunger there that would be attractive to me. If I'm a coach or I'm a scout, and you're working through player evaluation, you're asking a lot of why. Why did this guy go in the portal? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And if you can start checking the boxes and feel good about those answers, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Tom, how does that affect your job? Because you see a guy in high school, maybe he goes to a smaller school. How does that translate to a different school, to a different conference? How has it changed the way you evaluate guys?
Got to be harder.
Well, the problem with player evaluation at the high school level is you're dealing with so many unknown variables, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, oftentimes it starts when they're 14 years old, all the way up to graduation, and they move on to college. Well, in the National Football League, you essentially have unlimited resources to uncover every possible red flag that could lead you to making a $50 million mistake, right?
Yep.
In player evaluation of the high school player on behalf of college staffs, you can do the best that you can, but there are rules. You don't get unlimited time with them. You're oftentimes now with the transfer portal, name, image, and likeness, you're having to deal with handlers and people that can be involved in the process. And it's hard to get more difficult at the high school level because, unfortunately, now it's all about money.
Yep.
They don't see the bigger picture. There's no identity with the program they're signing with. In many instances, You're not going to have loyalty. There's not going to be passion for that team because you're looking at it sheerly as a monetary stepping stone. Because a lot of these kids are going, well, if I'm not happy there, I'll just leave.
Yep.
Because we've given them the out to not have to be accountable for anything, not have to hold up their end of the bargain. And that's tough to build team culture around when you have a bunch of young people that are throwing a lot of money, probably aren't prepared for it, don't have the support structure to handle it or navigate it. And then what does that do? That leads to bad decisions. And that's the thing that's become really dangerous in player evaluation of the younger player, whether it's high school or college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you on that, Luginbill. And when I look at this list that the AP combined, every player has something that you rarely get in a whole draft year. Like even when I got drafted, everybody from my draft class wasn't ready to play and add to the team. When I look at this list of players, all 5 of these guys could help us win games this year. Like I think they could contribute to this team. Are we seeing the same thing?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I look at what's happened in the National Football League as it's almost like it's come full circle, right? 10 years or so ago, everybody was saying, well, the running back position's devalued. And everybody's going to the spread offense, right? And now on defense, everybody said, well, we got to get smaller, leaner, faster because the game's not played in a phone booth anymore. And now you look at how things have come back. And the running back's value has started to increase because people are now offensively saying, okay, well, you're light in the pants on defense. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're fast. Yes, you can run. Well, what happens if we line up in 13 personnel and run the ball right at you? What are you going to do? And so you're seeing, Baltimore's done this. Philadelphia's done this. I think a guy like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, because he's a pounder, he's a downhill runner, kind of fits that mentality of trying to reincorporate a power run game. So I think he brings potential value, especially in short yardage situations, and the ability to just stick your nose in there and pound the rock. Listen, I think from a high profile perspective, when you take an offensive tackle, which is a premium position in the first round, you're expecting that guy to contribute and play. You're expecting him to come in and not only be a factor, but you drafted him because you need an upgrade over what you currently have. And it's interesting, too, because Josh Connolly in this draft class for Washington was the only high-profile recruit of the entire group. The vast majority of these guys, outside of Kane Medrano, who, by the way, was a receiver when he signed with UCLA, he wasn't a linebacker. So outside of him, all of these guys were lightly to moderately recruited. Josh Connolly was the only one that essentially went from, 5-star prospect coming out to actually developing into a first-round draft choice. And when we first saw him, he was 6'4", 260 pounds. Like, you had to put rocks in his pockets and pour him full of water if you wanted him to get anywhere near 300 pounds. And so the development and the jump that he's made over the course of time has almost entirely been enhancing the physical God-given talents he already had.
Tom, one thing I keep hearing about Connolly, which I really like, is how he really wants to absorb the game, and not just at his position, but at all the positions on offense. So that's a big part of any eval, which is the mental aspect. How much emphasis do you put on that when evaluating a player?
Huge. I think aptitude, the ability to process when it's a quarterback position. We talk about quarterbacks all the time and this arm strength and that height and that weight and this speed and, can he change arm angles and this and that? Quarterback play is about two things. It's about decision-making and accuracy. And so you have to evaluate, I think, decision-making and the ability to process in every position across the board because things are happening boom, 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 1,000 miles an hour. And even guys who were drafted in the first round or the sixth round, doesn't matter what it is, they're going to see an uptick in not only speed of the game, strength of the game. I mean, you're talking about the top 0.4% of the people on this planet that actually play in the National Football League. I mean, that number is just minuscule. And so to me, I think the knowledge of the game, the theory of the game, if you're a Josh Connolly and you want to understand, why the center's doing this and why the tight end's got to do that, then you're going to become a better football player just as a result of that. And so I think every time scouts and guys are going in and they're talking to a coach, they're talking to a player personnel guy, they're talking to the equipment manager, the athletic trainer, does this guy make good decisions? Does he think things through? How does he handle himself? Is he the first guy in the building? Is he the last guy to stay? All of those sorts of things, I think, help uncover and identify red flags. And then you as an organization, as with anything else, you need to decide, do we want to run that risk? Is that a risk we're willing to take? Is this something we think we can fix if something pops up? And if not, we go on and we go on to the next guy on the board.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, but I thought it was a brilliant move by Peters when he watched what the Eagles got going over there with Jalen Carter, when he seen Donovan Azubuike go get drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, when you see Abdul Carter, you mixing him with Dexter Lawrence, and you mixing like the Thibodeau, they got Brian Burns, for them to take Conley right there. When I sit back and look at this offensive line now, I see a Pro Bowler, All-Pro in Laramie Tunsil. I see Coleman moving to the guard, and he played well at tackle. He gonna feel more protected at guard. I got Biotish, a Pro Bowl center, and Sam Cosmi, when healthy, is a Pro Bowler. So do you think with him combining with this line, they're going to get the best out of him?
I think that he will have to make a decision when he starts looking to his right and to his left. If for all of the reasons that you just labeled, he's going to have no choice. He's either going to sink or swim. He better rise to the occasion and be a dude, or he'll get outmatched for the exact reasons that you just laid out right there, because I think competition does breed the best in teammates. And if you see the writing on the wall real quickly, you're going to make one of two decisions. You're either going to rise, all right, or you're going to fall back into the shadows. You look like Homer Simpson falling back into the the shrubbery there against the wall and disappear. And I think that's why you spend so much time in player evaluation, studying competitive temperament, mental toughness, getting answers to those questions. What does a guy do if he gets beat? What does a guy do if he's having a bad day? How does he respond? How does he react? All of those things, especially the higher the draft choice, the more glaring it becomes.
Tom, who is the guy, regardless of team, that maybe isn't a marquee college football name? It could be an Ashton Genty or Travis Hunter. Someone outside of that you think is going to be a great pro?
You know what? To be honest with you, you just mentioned Donovan Azubuike.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that's not going to check every measurable standard box, right? He's a little short, kind of has little short arms, doesn't have the length that you maybe like. All that dude does is make plays. He just makes plays. He is a football playing dude. And sometimes you have to sit in the room with the rest of your group and say, guys, I know we want 6'5" at minimum, right? I know we want 34-inch minimum at this spot. But this guy is too good of a player to pass up, and I don't care that that he doesn't have any of that stuff. I think he's got and he's a great young man. I think he's got the opportunity to be an absolute star. Couldn't believe he dropped out of the first round. That one really surprised me, to be honest with you. So I think he's one that just pops out to me as going to be a 10-year plus guy.
Well, I feel like the Cowboys knocked the draft out of the park because Siobhan Rivera was one of my favorite DBs in this draft. I feel like he was a faster version of Richard Sherman. So when I looked at that Cowboys draft through and through, I feel like they actually, and I don't want to give him no props, but I got to give him props.
I was going to say, man, you got to have to buckle up.
Man, that's what I'm just saying. Rivera, I just thought, once I looked at their complete draft, I was like, oh, that's a draft right there. They got some dudes, and they add them to a couple of more dudes that they already got.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, it's the draft is always so fascinating to me because you do all of this work, right? You do all of this planning and the investigatory phase, and you're uncovering everything you possibly can. And statistically, the history of the draft will show you, even with all of that hard work, you're probably going to miss on 50% of everybody that's taken in the first round. I mean, think about that. And that's like one guy. Like we talk in recruiting, everybody says, oh, they're signing 25 guys at the high school level, and they're all 17 years old, and they're hoping to hit on 60%, meaning they know they're going to miss on 10 guys. Question is, which 10 are they? But when you look at it from this perspective, you're not talking about 25 guys. You're talking about missing 50% of the time on one guy. Like that's fascinating to me, and it's why it's so hard, right? And to be honest with you, just as in everything in life, there's luck involved, right? And you're gonna make some of your own luck by the decisions that you make on guys. And I've long felt in personnel that if you see something that you think is an incorrectable problem, you better stay away from it. Don't let ego get involved, because if you think you can fix it and all of this and that, and then you end up missing, and you did it knowingly taking somebody that you had uncovered a previous issue on. And I think guys get so enamored, or they get, we can get him in our culture and he's going to be fine, and all of those sorts of things. And the older they get, you ain't changing the stripes on a tiger.
Luginbill, I cannot let you out of here by sprinkling in a little superhero talk in here, because you know I love
All right,
my
what you
DC. I love my Marvel, and I just watched the Thunderbolts, a.k.a. the new Avengers, and I thought it was great. They attacked mental health. They really hit on some stuff. Marvel is back. That's how I feel, and I'm a big James Gunn guy. I think he finna rebirth DC. The Superman movie looks off the wall. Did you go see Thunderbolts?
Yeah. Okay, I saw Thunderbolts on Sunday. I loved it. I thought it had like a Guardians of the Galaxy feel.
Yes.
Enough humor, enough action, great special effects, but then it had heart too. Like you cared about the characters. And to be honest with you guys, I mean, they've missed Disney and Marvel over the last like 3 to 4 outings have completely missed the mark. Like they've got people disinterested. This movie is going to get people back and interested. And I think what's really cool is it's kicking off the phase where you can tell they're going to combine these guys with the Fantastic Four. Then you're going to have the vast majority of the Avengers returning, the original Avengers, and Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. It doesn't get any better than that. Now, I got one beef with the new Superman deal. Okay?
All right, what you got?
How bad is that suit?
I didn't think the suit was bad.
Come on, man.
No. This is what James Gunn going for. After that dark DC album we've had the last 10 years, right? The DC universe, they toned it down. It was very dark, very bleak. I think he wanted to bring that vibrant Superman back and Crypto coming back. And,
I love the colors.
Yeah.
I love the colors, but give me something form-fitting, man. He looks like it looks like what's his name in Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord. It just looks like his suit with a cape and an S on it. And it's like all loose and baggy. But here's my theory. I have a theory, and if I end up being right on this, you guys are going to have me back on. I think because there's so little known about the movie, I'm not so sure that suit isn't on purpose, and it's because he's kind of young and just becoming
figuring it out. Yep.
And I think by the end of the movie, he's going to get a new suit. That's my theory. He's going to get a suit that'll be tight and form-fitting. I mean, why the hell go out and do all that work to look great, to be in the Superman suit, and then they put you in a baggy smock? I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Where'd you shop, Superman? I got this at Men's Warehouse.
Yeah,
it was a great deal.
I know, my good Lord.
I got this from Macy's.
I thought it went to TJ Maxx, man. They hooked themselves up with a little oversized Superman suit. But no, I love the colors. I think he's great. He should be really, really good. And listen, James Gunn makes great movies, right? I mean, when you really think about it, I trust him too. Absolutely.
He's a scout and recruiting analyst for ESPN and Sirius XM. It is Tom Luginbill. Tom, great stuff, and thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, Tom.
Anna, Kayla, a.k.a. thebomb.com. Hey, guys, it's Traveling Jay just checking in. In the last episode, you had talked about possibly wanting to hear more about some of the players. I had left a message. I need to know a little bit more about this Connerly kid. So if you could get somebody from Oregon or whatever, let's find out a little bit more about him. That would be awesome. Also, real stoked about the RFK site. I'm hoping that they can somehow incorporate the old stadium into the new stadium. I don't know how they would do that. Maybe possibly using some of the debris or whatever, because I know they're going to have to tear that sucker down. But
leave a cornerstone.
I don't know if you know anything about that. And also, I don't know if I had told you or not. It's a special place for me because of the last season in '96 that they did on RFK. Actually, my wife and I, well, my ex-wife now, we're married on the 50-yard line at RFK.
Traveling.
1996. It was on a Saturday. She had talked to John Kent Cook. I think it was the grandson. I believe that was his name. And she got us there. So He wouldn't let us do it during the game because he was afraid that other people would want to do it and it would start an avalanche. But it was the Saturday before the game. I can't even remember if they played at home that weekend. But anyway, just thought I'd touch base with you guys. Still doing a great job as always, and we're still kicking on this side of town. Also, one more thing, Kansas City. I know Washington comes here. So I'm looking forward to going to that game. Never been to a game down there, and I haven't been here that long. So, but we'll be touching base with you on that too. All right, thanks, guys. I love you, and nobody loves you like I do. Take care. Traveling Jay out.
I see why Traveling Jay is invested in RFK. If you got married,
oh my
in
gosh,
a stadium, you're connected to that stadium. Like,
and then if you got a divorce, you hope it implodes.
yes, implodes. But that's always a part of Traveling Jay and his wife's history.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, even I got a chance to make Traveling Jay's son. When I
That's
brought
right.
him up for a game. And I can only, that felt a little eerie that he was watching a Washington game, but he wasn't watching it in the stadium he got married in.
Yeah.
The one that he got connected to. So now I see why he want that little brick of cornerstone.
They should just keep a little something there.
Like
Anything.
Like just one. No, I say more bricks than just one.
You know what they could do too? They could also, like a few, whatever, just a part of it, and then have some sort of shrine or something honoring the old stadium
We
there.
can have an RFK wall.
Yeah.
We can have a wall of bricks from the original RFK.
Be amazing.
Maybe 2 seats in
I
front
started
of the
because
brick
the seats
wall.
bounce, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2 seats in front of the something just to pay homage to that. Because if they was letting people do this type stuff, now I see why they have the love affair with RFK that they do, because they not just mentally attached to it; they're emotionally attached to their place. So now I'm starting to understand. Now I understand it's hollowed ground because that's where we beat Dallas at so many times to go to the Super Bowl and all these memories there. But those are real memories. Those are lifetime memories right there. Would you get married in a football stadium since you finna get married and I'm throwing your bachelor party?
There's so much to unpack.
Is Catherine a Commanders fan?
She is now.
Okay.
I mean, Catherine never really had. She went to the College of Charleston.
Yeah.
And is from South Carolina, but she doesn't really have.
South
an NFL
Carolina used to be Washington.
So now all she has is Commander stuff.
Yeah. Catherine is down with us. We know that for a fact. The question, Jinx, you didn't answer it. Would Catherine say yes to a football field marriage?
No. Absolutely not. I think we're getting married in Virginia, I think.
I've been saying, even at the University of Charleston.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think football field is probably not in the equation.
Well, I think men don't ask enough. I think when it comes to marriage, the first thing we do is say, here, you handle it.
Yeah.
Like, and mostly the dudes that I know have asked for these different requests, they always have these themed marriages and they always last. So maybe we are lacking as men not being proactive and saying, how about we do it somewhere different? How about we do it off the beaten path? How about we don't do it at a church? How about we do it our way? Because Traveling Jay did it their way, and that's why they still together.
Anna?
You'll
You'll be married one day. What if your fiance says, honey, you work for the Commanders? Wouldn't it be great?
I love the Commanders. I work for the Commanders. But you don't want to get married where you work.
No, you don't work at RFK. You work at the practice facility.
Oh.
Huh?
I always saw myself getting married in Colorado. So that would be more. But I would not be getting married at Folsom Field.
No,
I wouldn't be getting married.
I
I also understand. But if the team is somehow instrumental in your love story, like it was for Traveling Jay and his now ex-wife, but it was an instrumental part of their love story, and I think that's appropriate.
I'm going to give you a scenario, Anna.
Yes.
Your fiance is a naval guy. All right? He's a naval guy, lieutenant, captain, whatever. All right?
Yeah.
He wants to get married on an aircraft carrier. All right? I'm just saying.
I thought you were going to say Annapolis, and you're like, on an aircraft carrier. I was like,
Annapolis got a couple ships there.
I mean, it's beautiful.
I'm just saying, I want to marry two things together.
Maybe the reception or the or the rehearsal
You can't
dinner.
give him that day.
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
my
And then
no.
when you say I do, an
it's-
F-18
Just,
comes
I'm talking
down.
about 3 of them just booms fly over.
It's 50-50. It's got to be 50-50. Both parties need to be in agreement. Both parties are in agreement that you're getting married at RFK Stadium. Go for it. That's amazing. You do you. But I don't know if I'll be in agreement for that.
Well, I've been saying, as a guy that
That's
got
all.
married traditionally, I'm not doing it traditionally no more. I'm going to do it like Traveling Jay in the middle of a field somewhere.
Are you?
It's just
It would
got-
be just an actual field for you.
Yes, just a field of dreams. Like, all I'm saying is the marriages that I have watched do it a little different. They stand the test of time. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you got to do what's right for your relationship.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what
And-
you got to
and
adapt.
I'm
Whatever
not-
that
yeah.
is.
And
Whatever
so
that is.
for Jenks, that's not getting married at a football field. It's going with what Catherine wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
true.
You should get married in the box on the football field since you've been speaking the whole time. Like, I just think you got to come up with different ways.
No,
fun
I
ways,
love it.
especially when you send an invitation
I
out.
love creativity.
Like the first thing I do when somebody send me an invitation to a wedding, I want to know the location.
Okay.
I want to know the theme. These are 2 things I need to know. When I see it's conventional, I might make it, man. I might not.
I love it. I love it. Are we ready for our next caller? Thanks for
Sure.
calling in, Traveling Jay. Also, we
Yeah.
love hearing from
Thank
you.
you,
I might get
Jay.
married at a 7-Eleven. Who knows?
Hand out some big bites.
Mr. Comcast Sportsnet himself, Michael Jenkins. And Anna, how you doing, young lady? Look, man, y'all didn't do your homework. You supposed to go do the homework on the black helmets, the white jersey, and the black pants. You said you didn't like it. Okay, it's cool. We're going to move past it. I like it. You ain't got to like it. It's fine. But you like that all gold 24 karat talking about coming in singing and whatnot. I'm not a fan of the all gold. That's neither here nor there. I want y'all to do a deep dive on Jacoby Jones, the undrafted free agent we got. I didn't know, man, used to play for Alabama, man. That boy looked nice. He looked nice. I know he was an undrafted free agent, but I seen some of the plays, did a little homework on him, man. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good, man. If y'all do a little homework on him, let us know what you think. Appreciate y'all. Have a great one. Great show. Phenomenal. It's about time y'all got together and did something, man. Two of the most hilarious guys in the business doing it right now, man. We appreciate you. Love y'all. Be cool. Big Rob.
First of all,
Appreciate you,
the
man.
black and white uniform. Like, I think he just was going against the grain. Jinx, I think he just was saying, you know what, I'm going to put the most unobvious stuff together and see what happens.
I guess we got to do homework.
No,
That's a
how about when he said it, I know all the uniforms in my head. And I was like, what is he trying to match? So I was like, oh, he trying to take the black jerseys out of black pants.
Yeah.
Meshing with the white top. I'm like, no, that ain't going to work.
Right.
Like, there's no symmetry there. There's
Right.
and I can't believe he shot down Bruno Mars 14 carry go. Like, do you know how they would look with that? Let's just say we had that gold helmet, right? Just the gold
Right.
helmet. It literally like, on gold jerseys, on gold pants, gold
You know what
socks.
I love? He's sticking so hard to white and black, and you were sticking so like both you guys once again.
Well, because I'm thinking color rush in my head.
That's like second thing. You started Twitter, now
I did.
X,
I did.
and the color rush. Man,
Yeah.
you should be getting paid for all these things.
Yeah,
know.
get paid for none of them. None of them.
All right. Well, we have one more voicemail, and we'll hit the last topic, and that'll be the show. Thank you, everybody, for leaving your voicemails this past week. You guys have so many awesome voicemails, and just keep leaving voicemails, sending us emails. It's so much fun when you guys are involved. All right. And this one's from our friend, Omer.
Hello, Smooth, Jenks, and Anna. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are fighting off the Sunday scaries.
Sorry,
I just wanted to call. I just read the report from Nikki Javala. We're hosting the draft in 2 years, guys. I think it's in Pittsburgh next year. The draft will be in Washington, D.C. in 2027. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts about this. Have you guys ever attended the draft as a fan? What's it like? Is it just a bunch of standing around? But anyways, I wonder if the prospect professor, Logan Paulson, has any input on this as well. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts and any, way too early predictions for what the 2027 draft will look like. I mean, do we think Arch Manning is coming out that year? I'm curious. I think Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith might be in that draft too.
Yeah. He's right. Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, these freshman phenoms.
Oh, Ryan Williams is a player, man.
Jeremiah Smith is a monster. Think Julio Jones mixed with Randy Moss. All right,
those dudes are amazing.
Arch Manning. You know a lot about that, don't you, Jinx?
I sure do.
Hook him down.
Get him up, baby. It's our year.
I think Arch going to be great, but I also think Arch going to stay 4 years at Texas.
I think he stays more than one. If Texas wins the national title this year, which is, look, Texas and Ohio State are both co-favorites for the national title, then I think he goes. But I think Arch is different and will probably stay a couple years.
I think Arch will stay, so that 27 draft will be the draft of drafts, all right? So I think it's some freshman phenoms in there that's playing right now that's going to be sophomores that'll be great. And the draft experience, yes, I have had it. I got friends that did it. It's the loudest. It's very stadium-like. It's this constant. From what I hear, if you're sitting in the crowd, you can hear nothing, right?
But on the outside,
we can hear everything, all right? So it's this constant crowd noise, and then it's these explosions, all right? But it's like every fan base is waiting on their shot to do it. So it's like everybody's taking turns.
Right.
And from what I hear, sometimes you can hear the people making the calls. Sometimes you can't because it's dead loud. So
that's right.
The experience is different, and it's longer than a football game. It's longer than anything you've been to.
It goes on for days.
Yeah. When I say longer, like let's just say the first day. That's 5-6 hours. Mm-hmm. The second day start earlier than that. And the third day is a whole entire day. Like, so it's one of them things where it's not a sporting event, but it's kind of is.
Well, also, D.C. is such a tourist city anyway, for obvious
reasons.
So
we're built for it.
And plus, people will come in and say, let's just make a trip. Like, nothing against Green Bay, but a lot of people wouldn't necessarily plan a trip to Green Bay outside of the draft, but you will for D.C.
That's without saying. It's just like going to a Raiders game. People see Raiders on their schedule, and this is more than
like,
a football game. This is a trip. DC gonna be the same thing. Like people will be going to the museums while they down there on the National Mall. They will be going out to the waterfronts. They will be doing all this stuff. So it won't be just draft centric. Like we have that to offer. The one in Green Bay this year, no disrespect, it was only draft. Right. Like unless you're going to a Perkins in Wisconsin, it ain't too much you're doing out there. But people will get to take on the nation's capital in a different way, all right? And they're going to see that the DMV is unique like no other cities in the world, all right? When they see all that water, the weather probably be just the best because the football gods are shining on us right now, all right? So it's going to be, this is what I say, this will be more than a draft. It'll be an adventure.
There will be one person that comes here and says, where's the closest Perkins?
Yes. No Perkins.
No Perkins.
We got no Perkins for you. All right, but we got some top-notch restaurants. We got top-notch people. It's a very clean city. It's more water than you think you'll ever see. And we got something uniquely nobody else has. We are 2 states in the nation's capital all together. We are the DMV. Nobody can compete with it.
Amen. Guys, can I talk to you about SeatGeek for a second? They have your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek makes it easy to catch world-conquering tours and high-wattage performances from your favorite artists all summer frickin' long. SeatGeek has the best seat, your seat for an unforgettable summer. From rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country, find it all on SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. Summer concert season officially starts with SeatGeek.
Yes, and I will be at the Kendrick Lamar concert.
Oh, when is that? He's with SZA?
It's going to be June, I think. Is it June? Yeah, I think it's going to be June or
coming
July.
up,
Don't mark me on that, but it will be at Northwest Stadium. Fred Smoot will be there. And I'm asking all Drake fans to come on out too, you know.
Before we go, Abdul Carter, drafted by the Giants out of Penn State.
Yeah.
First, he asked for LT's number, which I thought my head was going to explode. And LT was like, Lawrence Taylor's the greatest defensive player of all time.
And he ain't going to hold his mouth.
Right.
Wrong dude.
He was like, thanks, but no thanks.
Dudes,
go make your own mark,
way.
kid.
Yeah, go make your own way.
And then Abdul Carter, because he wore 11 at Penn State, that's the thing at Penn State, asked Phil Simms, former Giants quarterback, if he could wear 11.
And I heard Phil Thought
Phil
about it.
He did. His family was like, no.
No,
He got outvoted
Chris's
by-
son was
Yeah.
like, because here go the thing, and that's why I admire Michael Irvin. I love Michael Irvin for this reason. He enjoys seeing 88 on the field on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys seeing people never can forget about Michael Irvin because C.D. Lamb is wearing 88.
Yeah.
Dez Bryant wore 88. Like 88
right.
is still alive. I respect him so much for this. But here go the scariest thing, because I had to really think about this. Let's say you're a Hall of Fame player, Michael Jenkins.
Okay.
All right? Your number is number 11.
Okay.
All right? A player calls and asks you this, and you call me and say, Smoot, should I let him wear it? And this the first thing I'm going to say to you. You a Hall of Fame player, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're a Hall of Fame player in your time. What happens if this dude outballs you? Now, is that jersey his? Are you forgotten? Is it his now? Does that jersey now belong to Sonny Jurgensen III? All right? It's no longer, people will not identify you with that. All right, it's similar to this. Darryl Green wears 28.
So you're saying keep the number.
I'm saying
Don't give it to anyone.
you got to protect your legacy.
Yeah.
You did too much to get to that level to just say here.
Right.
I just, because
Well, and also to someone who hasn't played a down of pro football.
We don't-
It's like, listen, Abdul Carter may be a great pro.
Yeah.
There's a chance he might not do anything.
it might not
You can
do
say that
anything.
about anyone.
No, that's any player drafted. Like all 32 first round could
All
just
of them.
crash. All right. But there go the big question that I think you have to ask yourself. Like 23 is Michael Jordan's number. All right. LeBron wore it, but we still think about Mike.
You still
as
thinking
23.
2-3 is MJ.
All right, but what if he would have rolled that in Chicago?
Oh, hell no.
I'm just saying, if LeBron
It makes me visibly angry.
Then I'm saying, if LeBron would have won 23 in Chicago, right now we'll be having the biggest debate of all time. Like we already had.
Right.
Who's the GOAT? Well, they were like, nah, that 23 belonged to LeBron. This generation gonna say that. Now me, dirty old men like us. Oh, Michael. Nobody
us.
can do it, Michael.
Dirty old men like us, both of us.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's a clash of do you want to be remembered always? Would you rather see somebody else pick up where the old man left off?
Yeah. And also, I feel like if you earn that honor, you should be able to keep that. And here's the thing, especially with someone like LT. Like, even when I think of 5'6", I don't just think 5'6" football. Or, like, I always think of Lawrence Taylor.
Number 56 is Lawrence Taylor. Like,
That's it.
that's it.
Right.
For generations that ain't even seen him play.
That's like Jackie Robinson is 42. You know what I mean?
42,
That's it.
you
Yes,
know
that's
who
it.
42 is. Like, you understand, simply, when I say 12, who you think about?
Tom Brady.
Now, what if
Shador's wearing 12.
No, I'm just saying.
Right.
What if Arch Manning come out and let's say something happened to the Patriots quarterback and he wants to wear 12?
Oh, no. I'm the biggest Arch
You
fan.
know what
I don't
Tom
want to see
Brady gonna
that.
say? The first night he think about it and go to sleep and have a nightmare that my Patriots jersey got Manning on the back of it
No.
instead of Brady.
That'd be sacrilege.
Thank you. It just, but you got to put that in the category for everybody.
Yeah.
Like just the way it is. That's how them guys gonna look at it. That's how Hall of Famer gonna look at it. They're going to want to be stubborn in that way, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this.
I get that. That is it for the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek. Got a great crew here. Kayla's in the back.
Yep.
Anna.
This is probably the longest show we've had. It could have been.
It could have been.
It could have been.
We'll check it out. Thanks for being with us. See you soon. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.